There's plenty of money out there. There's a little bit loosening of the credit, so the people who really should be able to buy a house are able to buy a house. There's loans out there now that are 100% again for a qualified buyer, and their credit scores can be as low as 600, so they can get a start.
Hey Doug, I'm hearing a lot about an upcoming recession, maybe tied to what factors in the market are possibly causing these guys to say there's an upcoming recession, or even is there a recession?
I think that might be more of a political thing. Jerome Powell just came out and said that the likelihood of a recession is very slim. The number of people that are unemployed is extremely low. The number of consumer confidence is extremely high. We have one of the best cities in the country relative to people moving here, the biggest airport in the world. We have solid power. We have a great climate, and you can get here. You can get anywhere in the country from here, from the Atlanta airport. So there's lots of opportunity. We don't have any natural barriers in our market. We don't have any mountain ranges to bang up against. We don't have any oceans to bang up against, so we can grow out pretty wide. And when you can grow out wide, what you get properties that are affordable. People may have to drive a little further. We used to say they had to drive to qualify, and they can do that now. And they can own a home, and they can use the leverage of that home to create incredible wealth.
Are there any markers that you're seeing in the market now that would make you think that there possibly could be a recession?
There are no markers. The inventory is low. The interest rates are as low as 3.25%. There's plenty of money out there. There's a little bit loosening of the credit, so the people who really should be able to buy a house are able to buy a house. There's loans out there now that are 100% again for a qualified buyer, and their credit scores can be as low as 600, so they can get a start. And if the market continues to appreciate, and appreciation combined for the next up until 2024 is predicted by the average of everyone out there in terms of the experts to be 16%.
Would you see numbers like that in the Atlanta market? Like, could we?
Yes. Last year was 6%. This year probably be mid threes.
Okay.
And it'll continue to go up from there. And inventory being low is going to just make the prices continue to go up.
Were there things like, what was it like in like 10, 11, and 12 to get a loan in the Atlanta market?
It was way harder to qualify. So in normal markets, probably got 3 to 4% foreclosures as a healthy market. And we, at that point in time, were down to 1 or 2%, which meant that the qualifying was way too hard. So they kept a good percentage of buyers out of the market who should have been in the market. They swung from giving too many loans to then not giving enough loans. And then, of course, they went up and they built a lot of really expensive houses, which kind of defy the market, because if the market's at an average price of $500 and they're building $750,000 houses, that can hurt our market. But that will hurt the people that built it, will not really hurt the market. The problem is you might have a $750 house selling for $500, which is shame on the builder for buying the land too expensive.
What are some things as a consumer they should look out for when it comes to recession? Is there anything that a general consumer can look at the market and go, oh, okay, well that's a red flag for me to specifically? What have you seen in your 24 years of experience as potential red flags for recession in the Atlanta market?
I don't see any potential red flags right now. I think when you're buying a house, you have to make sure that you use the 3 most important rules of real estate. Location, location, location. Location of the house in the market, location of the house relative to the schools, location of the house relative to the neighborhood and main roads and power lines and things that you should stay away. Just good logic. Buy a house that everybody wants. If a house has been sitting on the market for a year or 2 and nobody's bought it, figure out why they haven't bought it. That's probably not the house you want. If you're looking for a deal and you find that deal, it may be the deal that you wind up living with for a long time and not making any money on.
So what's the last piece of advice you can give? I mean, that was pretty gold right there, but what's another piece of advice you can give somebody when it comes to just kind of looking for the truth when it comes to what they hear about recession versus what they can actually see when it comes to buying a home in reality?
You need to have a coach, a really high quality agent who knows the numbers, knows the market, knows the product in terms of polybutylene pipe, in terms of siding, in terms of sewer issues, in terms of general cost of not getting a return because you've had to put a new roof on, not having to do a plumbing issue or something that's major. So you need a good coach, and that coach be an agent like me, who has the inspectors, who has a desire to make sure that you have the right property at the right price that you can look to future value for.